I need to close the window. Oh. Oh. Okay. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as you will already know because you've read the title, it is a running edition Q&A. So I asked all of you guys over on my Instagram. If you're not following me, go follow me. It's at tia.chitty. I asked you guys on my Instagram story for questions for a Q&A running edition, and you guys asked me a lot of questions. Wait, I'll show you how many. Look, these are all the responses that I got. So that is a lot of questions, and I'm going to go through all of your questions in this video and give you some answers to the questions that you have. So I'm sure you all know how Q&A works, so I'm just going to get started. Okay, how much other training like strength and conditioning do you do? Not enough, so I should do more, but I do 2 1-hour sessions a week with my physio of strength and conditioning, and then occasionally on some other days of the week I sometimes attempt to do like 5 minutes of core exercises or something, but it normally just doesn't happen. So about 2 hours a week, a little bit more, but not enough. I should do more, and when I get to college I think I'll be doing a lot more, which will be good. Favorite cross-country influencers? I don't know, I don't actually follow that many people. This person isn't really cross country, but my favorite influencer at the moment is Imogen Russell. I literally love her videos so much. So she's probably my favorite running influencer. But as for cross country, I like following Colleen Quigley on Instagram. I like her. It's at Steeple Squigs, I think. She's a steeplechaser, so I'm not sure. I don't really have any favorite cross country influencers. Okay. How do you perfect the quantum field? Please speak in English to me. How did you balance going for runs and completing year 12/schoolwork? Well, for me, the thing is that my whole life I've been running. Like since the age of 8, I've been running. And so I've just always fit in. I've always balanced my running and my schoolwork because I've always wanted to run. So I've just always gone to running training and fit in my schoolwork around that. And it was kind of no different in year 12. Like I didn't study that much in year 12. I know it sounds like, oh yeah, I got 99 ATAR and I didn't do any study at all. But like, I genuinely didn't study all that much. So I was like able to fit it in. I recommend just like planning out your week on a Sunday night to the minute as precisely as you can. And then you can see the times that you have to run and the times that you have to study, and then you can be as productive as possible in the times that you have to study. But yeah, I didn't find it too hard at all. I kept running all the way through year 12, all the way through my exams. Any good running blogs or informative good books? I'm having a mental blank. I'm sure there are some that I like, but I will talk about that in an upcoming vlog because I'm having a mental blank right now, so I'll think about it and I'll talk about it in an upcoming vlog, and I'll message you on Instagram what vlog I talk about it in. Do you taper before a race, and if so, for how long? I never get it quite right. It depends on the race. If it's a really low-key race, like a fun run or strive, no, I don't taper for that at all. If it's a kind of less low-key race, but still pretty low-key, like state champs, I will taper for like 3 days before. But if it's a big race, which would be nationals, then yes, I do taper for it. But it's like my whole season's program is built around nationals. So the whole season is like building up and then slowing down and tapering before nationals, so it's all kind of like built into the program, and the whole program has been groomed for that meet. So the work that I do throughout the season changes because as you get like closer to the meet, but I would say before nationals I probably start tapering like 2 weeks maybe. I don't taper for all that long. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. I'm actually not too sure. How many kilometers do you run per week, and what's your easy/aerobic run pace? I run anywhere between like 55 and 75 kilometers per week. It varies a lot depending on the week. Sometimes it's less than that. It's not normally more than that. I don't think I've ever run more than that. So yeah. And easy/aerobic run pace. Again, it varies a lot. Anywhere between like 4:30 minutes per kilometer to 5:15 minutes per kilometer. Sometimes I do my like aerobic runs at like 5:10, 5:15 if I'm just feeling slow, and other days it's more around the kind of 4:40 to 4:45 mark. Yeah, depends. How long does one running session take you in the morning? Well, in the morning, when I go for runs in the morning, those are normally my aerobic runs because I don't do them, I do them by myself, they're not with my squad, and those normally just take an hour. It's like a 10k aerobic run, and then I do some stride outs, so that's less than an hour. But my afternoon training sessions, when I actually do them with my squad, those take about an hour and a half, so they don't take too long. We always have a joke because we're like a middle distance to long distance training group, and we joke how we do so much more like work and mileage than sprinters, but their sessions take so long because they just like have so much recovery. But yeah, they don't take that long, the sessions. Have you ever had a massive fall in a race? Yes, I have. Two races spring to mind. One of them was national cross country last year. I got tripped over about halfway through the race. I was in the middle of like the kind of leading pack, and I got tripped over and I completely stacked it on gravel, and I had some really nasty grazes from that. Luckily I didn't injure myself, but it did hurt, and it kind of stuffed up my whole race, which was really annoying because it was nationals and I'd like been training the whole season for it. And then I fell over. And the other race that I can think of was, it was on the track. So it was just at a Strive meet, which is just the WA meet, the West Australian like track meet that we have every week during the summer. So it wasn't an important race. It was a 1500 meters, and I fell over. Again, I was kind of in the middle of a pack, and it was after the first 300 meters, just after we'd like gone past the finish line for the first time. And I tripped over the kind of the rail that like goes around the inside of the track that the camera goes along when you're like in a proper race, that like rail thing. I tripped over that, and I completely stacked it in the middle of a pack, and I was so lucky to not get spiked. And I was actually pretty badly hurt. Like, this was even worse than my fall at cross country nationals last year, which was not good. But in both races, in the moment, I just like scrambled back up and kept running, and I didn't really notice how hurt I was until the end. And what's really funny with the one that I fell over at the track meet, this was ages ago, it was like when I was 12 or 13 or something, was my dad was watching this race and he was doing my splits. So he didn't see me fall over because he was looking down at his phone to like press the stopwatch for my first split. So he didn't realize I'd fallen over until after the race. And I finished the race, and all the like mums of my friends were running over to me. They were like, oh my goodness, are you okay? Because I was kind of bleeding quite badly. And my dad was like, wait, what happened? Did you fall over? I didn't see that. So yeah, I have fallen over in races. I've probably fallen over in more races than that, but those are the main ones that I can think of. Cross country or track? Not this question, oh my goodness. Literally, it's whichever one I'm not running I like more, but I think cross country. I think I prefer cross country. But then when it's cross country season, I prefer track, and then when it's track season, I prefer cross country. Yeah. Have you ever considered quitting before? No, I don't think I ever have considered quitting. Running for me has kind of become like brushing your teeth. Like, it's just something I do every single day. And I don't really, sometimes I don't really think about it. Like, I just go and do it. And obviously I have my reasons for doing it. I really enjoy doing it, and I love doing it, and I have plenty of reasons for doing it. But I don't think, like, quitting doesn't even seem like an option for me. Quitting has just never seemed like an option for me. I've never even, no, I don't think I've ever considered it, because running is such a big part of my life, and without doing it, I think I would just feel like, what would I do with my days? Like, I don't know. So no, I've never considered quitting, and hopefully I won't for the next 4 years, because I'm supposed to be running at college. So yeah, we don't want to be quitting. Long-term goals. I think my longest term goal has always been to make an Australian team and represent my country at an international event. And obviously everyone or every sports person, well, most sports people have a goal to go to the Olympics someday. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but that's always at the back of my mind. But I would really love to represent Australia at something. Even like, it doesn't have to be running. It could be solving Rubik's Cubes, but yeah, preferably running. I'd like to represent Australia. Breathing techniques when running 3 to 5 kilometers. I don't know. I never think about my breathing at all. I actually have asthma, which is a shame. It's exercise induced. But yeah, I don't really ever think about my breathing, so I don't know. I would say just try and like get enough air in. I'm not sure, sorry. Any good running sessions for only 10 to 20 minutes? I might film a whole YouTube video on like running sessions you can do in under half an hour, but I would say maybe the monofartlek. The monofartlek is a really good one, or you could do like tempo runs. You could do 3 lots of 5 minutes or 4 lots of 5 minutes. Yeah, so fartleks, tempo runs, or just going for like a little aerobic run and then doing some stride outs after that maybe. But yeah, 10 to 20 minutes is quite a short time frame. I could do like half an hour. There's lots of sessions you can do in half an hour, but 10 to 20 minutes is quite short. But yeah, fartleks and tempos I would say, or just like an aerobic run. What is a comfortable / good pace you like to hold during your long runs? Again, anywhere between like 4:35 to 5:15 minutes per kilometer. It varies greatly. Who are some athletes you look up to / role models? I would say my biggest role model in athletics is Katrina. I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Katrina Bisset? No, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it, but I'll put it on the screen here. And she really inspires me a lot because she's overcome a lot in her life. Like earlier, she used to be a really, really good runner, and then she suffered quite badly from an eating disorder, and now she's come back like at university age, and she's running so well now. So that really inspires me because I've had similar things happen to me. Like when I was younger, I was really, really good, and then now I've become not so good, and it inspires me that it's not too late, and if I keep running, hopefully in college I can improve and start breaking those PBs, because all of my PBs are from when I was like 14, and it's a real shame. It's like quite depressing, but that's okay. Have you ever taken a week off, and how do you know you will stay fit? Yes, I have. I've taken quite a few weeks off, normally after every season, so after the athletic season, and after the cross-country season, and then again after the athletics, after the cross-country, I will take 2 weeks off normally, and the first week I normally don't run, or I run literally like once, and then the second week I might run 2 or 3 times. Like for example, about a month ago, after the athletic season came to an early finish, thank you coronavirus, I took 2 weeks off, and during the first week I went for 1 run, and it was 20 minutes long, and I probably went for about 3 kilometers, and then during the second week I went for 2 runs. So I would say that's pretty much a week off. Like 1 3-kilometer run is kind of not really anything. So yeah, I do take weeks off after each season. And how do I know I will stay fit? Well, I don't stay completely fit. I do lose a little bit of fitness, but if you've been working on your running and your fitness for like 6 months and then you take a week off, it doesn't all go away. Like it might take you a couple of weeks to get back into it, but you'll pick it back up. You'll pick it back up again. A week off is not enough time to lose all of that fitness. And your body needs a rest, your body needs a break. It's really important to give your body that, because otherwise, if you just never have a week off, like your body is at some point gonna start breaking down and you're gonna start getting injured. So yeah. Favorite distance and why? I get asked this question a lot, and I think my favorite distance is probably the 3K. That's kind of in the past where I've had the most success, and I think I enjoy it because my distances are like 1500 meters, 3K and 5K, and 3K is kind of the middle one, and I think it's my favorite one. I like it. It's a good distance. It's not too long and not too short. So yeah, I'd say 3K. Tips to run a faster 5K? I would say like get in as much race practice as you can with that distance and try different things. So see if going really fast at the start and trying to hold on works for you, or if you're more of like a person who likes to negative split. And then I would also say do lots of like tempo and steady runs, and then also long runs to try and build a little bit of speed, but you don't need like super fast speed for a 5K. You need more of like endurance speed. So those will kind of help build a little bit of speed and endurance as well, and that's why long runs are important, and steady runs for like teaching your body to run at an elevated pace for a period of time. So yeah, hopefully that helps. How do you know if you are overtraining or undertraining? That's a really hard one. It is hard to know if you're overtraining or undertraining. Of the two, overtraining is definitely worse because your body is going to break down and you're going to get injured, and that can really badly affect you in the long term. But undertraining is also not good because you're not like training at your full potential, so you're not going to be competing at your full potential. So I think overtraining, it is really hard to know, but if you're like really fatigued and tired, both physically and mentally all of the time, and if you're starting to get injured, that also might be a sign. Yeah, and if you're undertraining, maybe, I think probably you know if you're undertraining. I think deep down inside, if you're not doing enough and not pushing yourself hard enough, you probably know. But it is hard. It's really hard to tell. I'll do a bit of thinking about this one and I'll talk about it in an upcoming vlog. Do you suggest long distance or sprints for losing weight? I suggest not trying to lose weight because why spend your life worrying about your weight? I run because I love it and I love the people and I love the feeling that running gives me. I don't do it to lose weight. Like, if losing weight is your motivation for running, then I think you need to kind of reconsider that and come up with some better reasons to run, because there are so many better reasons to run. Don't worry about weight. How to build up your stamina. Building up your stamina is going to take time. You've got to start with a lower mileage and at a lower pace, and you've just got to slowly build it up. And if you keep pushing it along a little bit, like pushing the pace a bit in your runs and making yourself like a bit out of breath and running for a little bit longer each week, slowly you will build up your stamina. It just takes time. There's not really any shortcuts. Yeah, don't go too hard too early because you'll just get injured. But yeah, slowly build up your pace and your mileage and your stamina should increase. How do you even begin? You begin by just putting on a pair of runners, putting on some running clothes and taking the first step and just like starting. There are always going to be like a million reasons to not start something, but you've got to brush them all aside and think of the reasons why you're going to start, and you've just got to start. Starting is the hardest part, so I would recommend making a plan with yourself. If you want to run 3 days a week at the start, say, okay, I'm going to run on Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, and I'm going to run 3Ks on each of those days. Then on Monday, you need to just go and do it. Like, you just need to go and do it. And if you can't keep yourself accountable for that, then get a friend and tell them what you're going to do and make them keep you accountable. Or even better, they can run with you and do it with you. When did you start to realize you were pretty good at running? This is gonna sound bad, but pretty much from like when I started, because the story of how I started is that I was having my first school cross country race, and apparently, I don't remember this, but my mum says I came home from school and I told her that I wanted to win. And she said, oh, okay. So she took me for a couple of jogs around the park, and then the school cross country race came around and I won. And then I started doing a bit more like training, and then age 12 I started doing proper training and I was improving more. But I did have a bit of natural talent, because pretty much from when I started I was getting good results. So yeah, close to the beginning. Did you ever go through a phase where you didn't like running? Yeah, I've been through quite a few phases where I haven't liked running. I think when I was younger, I don't know if I liked it or not. I can't remember. No, I think I did like it when I was younger. I think I went through a patch in 2017 when I was kind of dealing with some difficult personal family issues, and I wasn't that into running, and I kind of went through a phase where I wasn't that into it, and I didn't really put all that much effort into training, and my results suffered, and then I didn't like running even more because I wasn't doing well, and so then I didn't like training even more, and then it was just like a vicious cycle. But yeah, in the past couple of years I have started to enjoy running a lot more, and I see it kind of a bit more maturely than I did before, and I really love it now. So yeah, I have been through phases where I didn't like running, but I kind of just kept going. Even if I wasn't putting full effort into training, I always still kept up my running. And then I've come through those phases and now I love it. How do you find the motivation to keep it up? I have received a few questions about motivation. Where's the other one? There was another one somewhere. Yeah. Yep, the other one was, how do you train when you don't feel like it / staying motivated? This is something I want to give a bit more thought to, and I'm going to film a whole video on how to stay motivated and how I find the motivation to keep going to training and how I train when I'm not feeling motivated. So I'm going to film a whole video on that. What are your favorite running trainers? Oh, do I have them in the room? No, I don't. I will put a photo on the screen here. They're the Nike Air Pegasuses. I've had them since, I still have all 4 pairs that I've ever owned. I got my first ones in 2017 and they were the version 34. Since then I've had the 35 and now I have the 36. And they're really, really good. I have used them for quite a few years, so they have a good balance between being well cushioned but also being light. So yeah, that's the Nike Air Pegasus, and I really like them, but I would be open to trying new shoes. So if you have any good like shoe suggestions for, like, you know, your base pair of shoes that you do aerobic runs and long runs in and warm-ups and cool downs and tempos and stuff, yeah, let me know shoe suggestions down, shoe suggestions down in the comment. That is a tongue twister. How can you motivate yourself to run for fitness and fun as an absolute beginner? The best thing I would recommend is trying to find a training group where you can run for fun and fitness. And if there's not a training group like that around you, get a running buddy and at least run with one person, because I think that makes it so much more fun. And running, you know, is going to help your fitness, and then you want to make it fun as well, and you can do that by running with someone else. So I would say try and find a low-key training group or just a running buddy. Why is Noelle so fast? I don't know, probably because she trains a lot. She trains so much. Oh my goodness, she's just running all the time. Best Garmin, not this one. This is my Garmin. It's a Garmin Forerunner 35. I've had it for quite a few years, so it's quite old. It's also really bad. It takes so long to get its location, and then sometimes it glitches, so I'll like start it and it just won't start. And so if I'm at the start of a race, I press start and we're starting to run and it hasn't started, and it's like, it just freezes and glitches and does stupid things all the time. I really need to get a new Garmin, so I don't know, I need to do some research into new Garmin. So if you have any Garmin suggestions, please comment your Garmin suggestions down below, because I'm looking for an upgrade to this one. But yeah, I love Garmin's, but I wouldn't recommend this one. It's good, but it's just kind of dying now. Is there somewhere that you would really like to run? Yes, I would really want to run at the Nike World headquarters, that track that's like in the middle of a forest and there's like trees in the middle of the track. It's so cool. I really want to run there. Do you believe ath tracks can be fast or slow depending? Yeah, I do think they can be fast or slow, definitely. It depends on a range of factors. Probably the 2 ones that spring to mind are, number 1, obviously the surface of the track, so how new or old is it? That's going to affect like the springiness of it, and that's going to affect then how fast you can run on it. But also a really big one is how sheltered is it from the wind, because the ath track that we have here in Perth gets so windy in there along the back straight, and wind is going to affect your times a lot. So yeah, if it's really sheltered from the wind, so if it's got really high grandstands all around it, it's going to be more sheltered from the wind, and therefore it's going to be faster than our track, which doesn't have grandstands all around. It only has one along the 100-meter straight, so it's not very sheltered and it gets very windy. So yeah, they definitely can be fast or slow, and it's just depending on a bunch of factors like that. Do you have any goals in regards to your career in running? Again, I would love to represent Australia at some point in an international event, and just do the very best in college that I can. I'd really like to be a valuable member of the Yale track and cross country team. After that, I don't know, because I'm going to just see how I run in college, which will determine whether or not I have an actual running career afterwards. So we'll just have to wait and see. What is your favourite running event? Again, 3K, probably, although I don't know. I also like 2K and 4K. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Cool. What types of training are your personal favourites? My favourites, because they've asked me, what types of training are your personal favourites? What's the hardest session you recall doing? And can you share some of the most effective sessions you've done? So my favourite types of training, I really enjoy speed sessions, just because we don't do them very often, and they're quite fun because we don't do them very often, and also because I'm like not very fast, so I don't know, like I feel like I don't get very tired even though I am putting effort in, because I have to run for longer for me to get tired. So I like speed sessions, but I like a bunch of sessions. Can you share some of the most effective sessions you have done? So I also really enjoy effective sessions because they're very rewarding. Some of the most effective ones, I think 1K reps are very effective. I could go on and on and on about this. I have filmed a whole video about my training sessions, so I'll link that up here if you want to go and check it out. What's the hardest session you recall doing? I did lots of hard sessions when I was training with Paul when I was like 13. And he always made us do a mile fast before every single session. So we'd have to do a mile rep and then we'd do like 8 400s or something. So his sessions were always pretty hard, but they were very good. I really loved his sessions. Favorite race hairstyle. So if you've ever seen photos of me running in races, I always race with my hair in a ponytail plait, and I've always raced in that since I very first started competing at Strive, which was like when I was like 12, I think. So yeah, I always have my hair in a ponytail plait, but I may change that at college. I feel like, yeah, we might try something new, we'll see. Do you record all of your sessions that you do in a journal, and what type of watch do you have? So I have a Garmin 435, do not recommend. And yes, I do record all of the sessions that I do. I do it on an Excel document on my laptop. I have my whole training plan or program for the whole of the season, and then I'll fill in like how fast I went and how long I went and how the sessions felt and everything on the spreadsheet on my laptop. So yeah, I do record my sessions. Is there a major event you would like to one day be able to compete in? The Olympics? That would be very cool. I'd love to do that. But any international event would be really, really fun. Do you have any tips for a beginner who wants to get into running and to run longer? I think I've kind of covered this in some previous questions, but I would say, yeah, build up slowly. I would say write yourself a program, so just like a really basic program. So the first week you're going to run this far, then just add a kilometer or so each week, and then you'll be running longer. So build it up slowly, and also run with friends. Try and find a training buddy to run with, because I find that always helps me and it just makes it a lot more fun. And I run faster and longer when I run with other people because I'm enjoying myself and it's giving me something to focus on other than the pain. Any tips for breathing when you're running? Again, not really. I don't really ever think about breathing. I think just, yeah, make sure you're getting enough air in. I don't know. Any other athletes in the family, parents, siblings, cousins, etc.? Mostly my parents. So my parents were both pretty good athletes when they were younger. My dad was one of the best 800 meter runners in Australia. He was like a really, really, really good runner. And my mum was good at like all sports, so she didn't ever like kind of specialize in one sport, but she was very, very good at heaps of different sports. And both of my parents still run now. They're both really good runners now, which is really good. And my younger sister Noelle also runs. She's had a very unlucky bout with injuries and illnesses, but she also is an athlete, and when we were younger we trained together a lot, so we did a lot of training back in the day. Okay, so those are all of the questions you guys asked me. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question, and I hope my answers answered your questions okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and also follow me on Instagram, because why not? And comment down below any other questions that you have, and let me know if I should do another Q&A again soon. I can do another running edition one, or I could do like a different edition. So let me know what sort of Q&As you might like to see in the future, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!